Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of MMA For The People. I am your host. With me today is the Deathstar himself, Khama Worthy. How are you doing today, sir?
Good, man. Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Really excited for this interview. So I got to ask you, how did you even come around to making your nickname the Deathstar?
It was given to me. I think I can't remember who it was, but someone suggested like my first amateur fight. I won by knockout, and someone said it looked like the Death Star hitting something, and it just kind of stuck from that, and it just kind of grew from there. And like by the time I became pro, it was like permanent, so I ran with it.
So back to when everything started, how did you first start your MMA journey? How did you get into it? How did you get started?
Well, I was like 20. I was living in New York, and I've always done martial arts a little bit, but I've never really like traditional martial arts. I never really gotten like kickboxing or Muay Thai or anything. And this guy's one time I was at the gym, and he was like, "You should maybe try out MMA." And I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And I went out and like watched some videos, and then I decided at that time I wanted to do it as a living. I moved back to Pittsburgh and started training.
And what was like where was the moment that you knew like, all right, this is what I'm gonna do for my permanent job. Like this is my career. This is who I am.
Once he told me about it.
As soon as
Like when he told me about it, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go home and this is what I'm gonna do. That's basically
it.
how it
As
was.
soon as
I'm
it started.
that kind of person. I was like, I didn't know how long it would take. I thought it'd be a lot sooner, but I decided that's what I was gonna do, and I stuck with it.
That's amazing. So over your journey so far, you fought in about 11 or 12 different promotions. What's it like to always wonder where your next fight's gonna come from?
That sucks, because I like to stay active, pretty active. Like even now, like I haven't fought in 10 months. It's irritating me. Like I like to stay active and have some reason for actually doing stuff and training and stuff like that. But yeah, the local MMA scene is hard now. After COVID-19, it's probably going to be a lot harder. Like I have all the guys in my gym and stuff, and they're all taught like everything's up in the air. No one knows exactly what we're in or how things are going to happen. So it sucks.
Yeah. And so now you have a fight coming June 27th. So I want to go back to when the first time that you found out you were going to fight in the UFC. What was that moment like?
It was crazy, man. Like I said, I found out like 4 day notice, so I didn't really get to enjoy the moment. It was just more of get the weight off. I was 19 pounds over. It was just more of cut the weight and get ready for the fight. And I flew out within like 6 hours of getting the call and stuff. So it was just big rush of a blur. But it was like for me, like I said, I told you, I think it was overdue. I felt like I should have been there. So when I got there, I was just waiting for it, basically.
And so you had to take off 19 pounds in 4 days. Physically, that number speaks for itself. Mentally, how are you able to take off 19 pounds of your body in 4 days and then be ready for a fight?
I had just fought 3 weeks before that, so it wasn't like my body wasn't used to being down there. It just put the weight back on. But like you're in the UFC. Like I hate seeing people miss weight. I don't get that. I don't get how people miss weight in the UFC. It makes no fucking sense to me. But like there's mad people who are trying to get that opportunity, and you just won't want to make weight. Seems kind of childish to me. I know it's like you get a casting call to a movie you want to go to or a movie you want to be an actor in or have a part in, and then you like show up like 30 minutes late, like, oh yeah, my bad. You guys are already filming. Like what the fuck? I just think like missing weight in general sucks, but missing weight in the UFC is like I've missed weight I think twice, and and both of those times I was trying to make the 45 and it just didn't make up. And the last one was when I jumped after the last one I jumped up to 55. Because usually if you keep missing weight, why. And I think if you're in the UFC, like especially if you're like a staple in the UFC, like you fought in the UFC like 5 or 6 times, that means you're financially stable to like not have to work and stuff. So the fuck are you doing? How are you missing weight? So it's a little bit like on the local scene, I can see people missing weight. You got jobs, regular stuff going on. But once you're in the UFC and you're established, I don't get how people miss weight.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And so when you first got that fight, for those that don't know, it was against Vontae Smith, who was previously and still is a good friend of yours. At any point, did you feel like take that fight, or you couldn't because it was going to be a little too personal, a little too controversial?
At first, I thought that, and then I was like, like we're boys and stuff. It wasn't like he was an actual teammate of mine. He was a training partner, and I hadn't trained with him in a while. We are friends, but like I don't. My thing is I don't fight like training partners. Like Kamaru Usman's fighting freaking Gilbert Burns. I wouldn't fight my training partner.
Yeah. Yeah, and so on top of that, there was a moment in the fight where something had happened and you guys had like dapped each other up, just like as a sign of like whatever had happened, and the coaches were mad and the fans started to boo. Can you like run me through that situation and what exactly happened? Because I didn't think it was a big deal, but the commentators reacted, the fans reacted.
Oh yeah, fuck them. I don't give a fuck. I tell my coaches and everybody, fuck y'all. Y'all like dude, I can do like I'm the one that's fighting and it's my thing. Like I know,
I didn't think it was anything
everyone
crazy.
act like you have to try to be like I'm not like being friendly or anything. I'm just acknowledging what's going on. Like my coaches hate that. Like, oh, what y'all? So you're not friends? I'm like, dude. That's just my boxing coach, Chris. He wanted to make sure I was like on point and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's just looking. As for the fans, I'm like, fuck the fans, man.
Yeah.
Like fans always want you guys to be like, you know, they want you to be throwing shit at people and talking about people's moms and shit. I'm like, dude, like we're gonna literally try to beat each other to death. Like, what more do you want? Like, so if someone touches hands, I've hugged people in fights and shit. Like, start of third rounds, giving people hugs and shit. I mean, that's just the type of person I am. Then I try to take your skull off. Like, I don't need to like hate you to fight you. Like, I mean, people like gotta be mad. Like, I have to hype myself up a little bit, but I don't need to hate my opponent to fight. So, like I said, my boxing coach Chris, he gets angry with stuff like that. I'm like, relax, man. I'm still there. I'm just acknowledging what happened and stuff, kind of living the moment.
Yeah, and so I saw in a different interview that you said that out of all your fights of your career, your first one in the UFC, you felt like you were like the least nervous of them all. Why do you feel that?
I'm not too sure, man. Like, I don't know if it was because I had just fought or if it was just such a sporadic moment that I had no control over it and I just kind of gave into that. I mean, of course I felt nervous, but I felt way nervous the fight before that. I felt way more nervous. So I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. Maybe this fight I'll be nervous as fuck. I don't know.
And so, I know as a fighter looking into the betting odds is all just like a bunch of hoopla and talk, but they had you as one of the biggest underdogs of the entire year. And do you have any sort of like idea why they would even underestimate you for a guy who's fought Paul Felder, he's fought Billy Quarantillo, he's fought other guys that have fought in the UFC? It seems so crazy to underestimate someone like that.
I don't know. I mean, the age. Like I was 33. I was 32 at the time. I'm 33 now. So I was 32. He's younger. He was 2-0 in the UFC with 2 knockouts. I mean, I was on a 5-fight win streak, and I finished 3 of those people, 2 knockouts at a sub. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I was like, whatever. Like, I don't know who. It's probably some fat guy in the basement, like, making his bookie numbers. I don't really, like, the bookings and the rankings are all in the same chart. I'm like, how can you know that? Like, you don't know what I've been doing. You don't know what he's been doing. Like, especially since we had trained together. And then I saw it. I was like, oh, maybe they think like he has.
It makes sense.
Trained. I don't know it. So.
And so
I mean, I just figured they look at the people that he fought and they look at the people that I've fought. I think he had maybe like 2 or 3 like serious contenders on there, and I think I've had like 5 or 6 like serious like high. I mean like world like high level D1 wrestler. I mean like so I don't know. I was just like whatever. I didn't really have time to pay attention to it until after the fight. I was like, oh shit, and people were hitting me up talking about how much money I made. I'm like, oh fuck, really? I just ran with it. I think I'm an underdog for this fight too. I think so. Like a 250 or something, 250 or something. I haven't checked. Someone else messaged me.
And how much do you think comes that from the fact that it's, violent Bob Ross and it's like it's a character type essence when it comes to his personality?
Yeah, again, he has more fights than Vontae had. He has 6 fights in UFC. He's 4-2. He's tough. I mean, he's a little bit of a striker, grappler, a little bit of everything. So, I mean, like I said again, it's like it's it has a little bit of a popularity swing to it, a little bit of everything. So I'm cool with that.
And so you hit Vontae Smith with the left hook. He goes down. What's the first thing that went through your mind when you knew you won that fight?
Ah, shit, I'm going to run this cage and I'm going to surf on people. My plan was to
right out
and I jumped the cage, and then my plan was to just jump into the crowd. And as I go to jump into the crowd, I realized the people are a little bit further back than I thought. And I'm like, they might not crowd surfing, so let me fucking chill right now.
Yeah.
Like, dump and get suspended or like fall on my face and break my mouth or something. So I'm glad I didn't do that.
And before the whole coronavirus and everything happened, how fast did you want to turn around and fight again in the UFC? Because I know you have a 4-fight contract, so you have opportunities set up.
Yeah, I was trying to fight. They asked me to fight someone in September or October. I said yeah, and that guy didn't take the fight. And then I was trying to get a fight in December, and that didn't happen. Then I was fighting for one in January. That didn't happen. And then my manager hit me up and told me they had Audemars. They had to wait till April. I was like, geez. And then that didn't happen. They offered Michael Johnson. So I mean, like, I've been trying to fight forever. Like, if everything turns out well, this fight, I don't get any injuries or anything, I'm gonna try to fight in July too.
And that would be, of course, at Fight Island, which would be absolutely incredible experience, I'm sure. And
yeah,
so you've had a long career, longer than most may know when it comes to like pro fights and different promotions. What is your personal favorite fight of your career of all time? Just one that you look back and you're like, this is something I'll never forget.
I would have to say it would be when I fought for Made Men Productions. I only fought for them one. Real cool dude runs it. When I fought, what the hell was his name? Fought down to Rivers Casino here in Pittsburgh against Brady Havermel. That was his name. And my gym had just gotten flooded. I actually finished up my training camp, like training on a mat that was like maybe like 10 feet long and stuff. But I didn't. My gym was all flooded. I didn't have a place to train. I was just exhausted. And it was outside and it was hot. It was like 1,000 degrees. We're next to a river. It was seriously like 80-something degrees. And it was just super fucking humid. And it just pulled a lot out of me to win that fight. Like, even though I watched the fight and I didn't really get like he was good fighter. He was training at Albuquerque, New Mexico at the time. And but it was just a really pushing fight. Like, it was a hard fight. And like one of the fights I remember most.
And when you had to keep pushing yourself, and at points you were probably at some of like the lowest that you've been in your career mentally, what keeps you going when you're in that point?
I mean, we're fighters though. Like, people keep asking me that, and they're like, "Oh, so why would you keep going?" I'm like, so let's say you have a bad report or a bad test in school. Do you just fucking drop out? That's like
some people do. Some people
like
do.
That type of thought process. If you have that type of thought process, you probably shouldn't do anything that's worthwhile. I mean, shit. Like, you couldn't even work at McDonald's because you're gonna fuck up on your first day. I'm just gonna quit. Like you can't have that. So I mean, like, for fighting, like, that's the mentality you have to have. Like, I don't approach fighting with the I hate to say it, but I don't approach with the Ronda Rousey mentality of a front runner. I'm like that. If you lose, you lose. That's part of fighting, and you calculate, you fix. Like, I mean, like, if you lose like 8 in a row, then you might want to scratch your head and maybe become a coach or something. I don't know, but I mean, like I like the Alistair Overeem, Michael Bisping approach to fighting, understanding that there's ups and downs. This isn't a one-way street. I think a lot of young fighters now have that one-way street mentality. And then they get tested, and it's like they shit their bed and stuff. Yeah, like not the same guy. So I mean, I'm more of an old school guy. I fight. I understand it. We're in the pain business, and sometimes you're a hammer, sometimes you're a nail.
And so now you have your own gym in which you run. Have you found it better for your career and for your training to be able to constantly be working, helping other people improve and start their journey?
Oh yeah, man. Like, I've been coaching for like 7 years now, and we've owned our gym now for like 3 years and stuff. So I mean, like, yeah, it's much better as a coach than like working some regular job than just training, because you're more into it. Like, you're engulfed in it. You're completely consumed by it. So definitely, like, it's helped out a lot.
And if you haven't done it already, what is one thing you need to do before you hang up the gloves?
I do want to fight in Japan. Like
Really?
even after my UFC career is over, I'm gonna take a fight wherever because I'm a soccer kick somebody. Like the UFC sucks that we can't soccer kick. I think that's really stupid. Like you're allowed to ankle lock and attack someone's ankle. Like what the fuck? You're allowed to attack someone's ankle, but I can't kick you in the face. What type of fucking fairness is that? Like you can jump on my ankle and I can jump on your ankle and start trying to twist it off, like one of the weakest parts of your body and try to rip your fucking foot off. But I can't soccer kick you, or that's stupid. So I'm gonna get. I mean, one fighting championship, they allow people to soccer kick. So when I'm getting close to end, maybe I'll go over there and like soccer kick somebody as they shoot for a takedown or some shit. Yeah, that's the most bullshit thing ever.
So that's all like my main questions. I just have like some personality questions I like to rattle off just to let the fans know more about you.
Fire them, man. All
right. Favorite fast food restaurant?
Well, I'm a vegetarian, so anywhere that has French fries, they gotta have French. I like Wendy's French fries. I like to put their chili sauce in the French fries. So I'd probably say Wendy's, or maybe Taco Bell. I don't know. Probably Taco Bell. I do.
They don't have the fries.
Yeah, I know, but like I like the Taco Bell. At least I have more options.
Yeah, fair enough. What are your favorite hobbies outside of MMA? When you're not coaching anything, what do you just like to do in your free time?
I watch a lot of TV. I'm like a TV connoisseur. So I watch movies from all over the world, foreign movies, old movies. I want to be a movie critic. Like when I'm done doing this shit and stuff, like I can like watch movies and tell you who the director is by like the setup, the scenery, the light.
Really?
I'm like really into movies. Yeah, like I follow soundtracks for movies. I know I can tell you who movies are just by the, like I said, the way they're directing it, the music that they choose, everything. I can just do it. So I watch a lot of TV shows and a lot of movies.
And so what's your favorite movie of all time then? Or at least top 3 if you're that into it.
So I was watching one the other day. It's too hard to put movies in the line. Every time I think that, I'm like, but yet the other day I was watching Slumdog Millionaire, and that's one of my top movies I haven't seen in a while, and I forgot how phenomenal a movie that was. Then there's I love the Malcolm X movie with Denzel Washington. Like that was such an amazing movie. Then Benjamin Button. There's nothing like Benjamin. Benjamin Button, one of the best movies ever made. Life of Pi was really good. I mean, there's so many different. Like I don't really pick like one best movie because there's just too many movies for me to pick from. But like off the top of my head, those are ones I like grab. Let's see. Like The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith, like those like that, and like anything that's a true story, it's really hard to like get away and be like, oh, that's not real. Like true story movies are like really good. The movie Kill the Messenger, like there's a lot. I mean, I watch a lot of stuff, so you'll be here for like an hour. You're like, this motherfucker's still going.
Do you have a favorite director then? Is that like a little easier? Because movie is very broad.
So I love Spike Lee because his movies are always unique and different and like really political, and they make you think. And I love Guy Ritchie. Guy Ritchie's films are the best. Fucking Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels. Fucking Rock and Roller. Like I love Guy Ritchie films. Of course, everyone loves Quentin Tarantino. I mean, like there's a lot. There's a couple of foreign people that I get into too. They're like foreign directors and stuff like that I like to get into their films.
So, and what's your favorite musical artist?
Favorite musical artist, I would have to say Bob Marley.
Bob Marley, that's an amazing one. I grew up
listening to that. So definitely Bob Marley. I mean, I like music too, but Bob Marley's definitely one of my favorites.
And final question: what is the largest mammal you think you can knock out with a left hook?
Shit, I probably knock a dog out. I ain't picking nothing bigger than that because I'm like I ain't punching no fucking cow or no goat or nothing. Hits are big as shit. Now dogs got small. I really wouldn't want to punch a dog and test if I could knock him out. Peta be on my ass for that. Peta and half of my friends.
Theoretically.
No, but yeah, probably a dog. I don't know. That's a weird question.
And so final thing, a message to your haters, everyone that wants to see you fail, anyone that's ever like been against you. What is something you want to say to them?
Thanks, suckers. Shit. They hate us because they hate us. I'm like, I'm cool. I don't even spend energy dealing with the haters. I'm too busy thanking the people that give me love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like there's always going to be haters. Like there's billions of people all over the world. Like, so the haters are going to be there. So I don't really give them. I sometimes I find myself like getting into it, and then I gotta stop and be like, I have energy to be doing other shit than like getting to people that want to see you fail. Because some people be, you know what I mean? You got to think about it. If you have the energy to make a fake Twitter account just so you can go on someone's Twitter or someone's Instagram and talk shit, that's sad, man. That's a sad life. And I'm like, I'm not even going to like deal with it. So it's whatever.